Makes it easy to sync the video. No, go. You already told. You need to go and go do your stuff for a while. You're not interrupting it. You do not need to brush your teeth right now. Go and watch your TV. Go. 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 Thank you. Be good. Pretty kid. Okay. So, let me get your list real quick. Potions. I think maybe easier just grab that from here. You will have... Actually, you just have 2 of each of those 3 that you can make.
2 of each?
Yep. That'll be your 6. Perfect. Alright. Alright. Since we just only have you 2 here to start, you have already been picked up. You are currently inside of a small City Watch office. You kind of know the things that are happening, like you kind of know what's going on, like what they're expecting of you, things we've gone over. But you haven't really had like the good old explanation from the big old high up guy. It's just, this is what you're gonna do, blah, blah, blah. You haven't got all that, the whole thing yet. So, Waffle, shh, or you can get out. What? They're just sitting there. Be quiet. Alright, Sharn, the city of towers. Full of opportunities and ever-growing dangers. As of recently, the city has become a collection of violent outbursts, and seems as things have stirred up between gangs within the city, and talks of a new group has made its way to the ears of the City Watch. In hushed whispers, you and a small group of rookies, citizens, ne'er-do-wells, and vigilantes, has been recruited and tasked with uncovering anything they can in regards to these activities, as less and less citizens are willing to come forward, and more guards are becoming less and less trustworthy. You all sit in a small room, chairs with a uniformed man in front of you that you recognize well as Counselor Sabah, the head of the new task force you've been assigned. As he stands, he begins to speak. The task ahead will be difficult, and potential dangers will follow. You will be afforded any and all conveniences available, whilst working with the City Watch. But do you know, some may make your life difficult. Not everyone was happy about the new kids on the block being brought up, even though they're little more than basically rats on the floor as far as they're concerned. People have been pulled off their normal patrol routes to make room for you, as to stay out of sight, out of mind. But the lower wards are dangerous, so keep your eyes and ears open. Let's get down to brass tacks here. Someone is making blatant attacks on some of the strongest people in the city. Last month, the Boromar were dealing with just the Dask, but this month, both of them have been hit multiple times. And all are claiming they had nothing to do with it. The explosion a couple weeks ago, too many lives have been lost for them to continue to ignore. All the less fortunate districts of the city have just been toppled. We need to find a name. That's it. Just identify. We are not here to lay down the law. I do not expect you to get into any of this roughhousing and everything else that's going on down there. I don't expect you to fight. But I need information. And we need to deal with this swiftly before it gets worse. Do you have any questions?
Mm-hmm. Not off the top of my head.
I do have one lead you may be able to follow. The Boromar clan have recently started a new smuggling operation in Lower Dura. Recently, business there has picked up extremely fast and moved from simply narcotics to magical items and luxury pieces, or at least that's what the rumors are. Other smuggling operations have already been hit, so we're thinking this may be the next spot. You also, behind him, does stand the commander of the watch. Let me get his name pulled up here.
Quick question, what's the difference between a Dungeoneer's pack and a Scholar's pack? Like, I don't know what each of those entail.
A what? Dungeoneer's pack and a what?
A Scholar's pack?
Alright.
I don't know.
I don't think there's much difference. Yeah, so the Scholar's Pack's just more expensive. From the looks of it, and it might have some more stuff in it. I don't... The Dungeoneer's Pack just has more stuff in it that's more useful for like adventuring and stuff, and the Scholar's Pack's gonna have different equipment in it.
Okay.
So let me pull it up here for you. Dungeoneer's Pack.
Scholar's Pack's probably got more like...
I just don't ever get to play enough to know exactly what's in it, but I know it's like there's stuff. Yeah. So a Dungeoneer's Pack has a backpack, it's a crowbar, a hammer, 10 pythons, 10 torches, a tinderbox, 10 days of rations. It's like stuff for adventuring out in the dungeon. The Scholar's Pack's probably gonna have like quills and parchment and shit. Yeah, a book of lore, a bottle of ink, an ink pen, 10 sheets of parchment.
Okay.
If you're trying to play your character with some flavor and like role play, you probably should pick the Scholar's Pack as a potion master or but if you're trying to be what most people are trying to be and you're trying to fucking like min-max to the max on your character, you pick the Dungeoneer's Pack so you have more survivability. Literally, it's just what it is.
What all was in Thieves' Tools?
Thieves' Tools just like stuff you can use to like break into stuff.
So
like a lockpick, yeah. That's
like
all
one
it
of
is.
those like slide things that you like have.
Yeah, the
on your
rake,
hand
a
when you're
little rake.
pickpocketing.
Yeah, a small file, a set of lockpicks, a small mirror mounted on a metal handle, a set of narrow-bladed scissors. Yeah, stuff like that.
Cool.
You kids need to go in the living room. Trying to play D&D with kids. Theodore and Amelia, go to the living room or you will be no TV, in bed at 7 o'clock. See, that's all you gotta do.
So much more.
Got them out of here at least.
Yeah.
At least they're being loud in there. That's enough that the microphones, I can use the editing software and get rid of that background noise. It's when it's like, it's in the room, you can't get rid of it. It's impossible.
You're screwed.
Yeah, and so behind Savah Carissa, you do see Lord Commander Ian Talan. And then one thing to note, whenever you hear and then a last name, you know that that's somebody of high social status, with like a lordship, royalty type of thing. Yeah, he's a male human. He's got like short white hair, like a scruffy like little goatee here. And he has like a nice like a long sword at his side. He appears to be he's not really wearing armor as much as it's like some like showy officers type of stuff. You know what I mean?
Pretty armor.
Yeah. And then like I said, anytime you hear that sound before a last name, that means there's somebody of a higher office. Their family is like is either lords, they're royalty, or higher in class in some way. That's just something to keep in mind for Eberron in general. And he is not really speaking. He appears to be kind of like just looking over all of you and kind of watching as Savah. Go ahead and roll. Can I get a perception roll from everybody? I kind of see you standing in the back.
Perhaps some die that I can use.
Oh, yes. We always have such a dice.
Once again, I have forgotten. I have a bunch of dice now. You.
If I have this to roll on, I suppose I can give you a dice power.
Sweet.
Since you don't have anything else to roll into.
Got 5
For what?
for perception.
Alright, so as you regard
Nat 20.
Commander Talon, Sullivan, you think, oh, this guy really likes it here. He's just, I don't know, I can't, he'd be thinking anything. But he seems to just be enjoying himself.
Sweet.
You, Tyler, for a second, on that 20, for a second, you almost, Talon is his last name.
Talon. Okay.
His last name's Talon. The is a, like
Like a title.
yeah, essentially. It's more like a term of respect, actually. That's more a better way to think of it, because it's not like it was granted to him by somebody. He was an as like, that's a birthright. It's a birthright,
Gotcha.
yeah. You, Tyler, like, you look like this. As you look at him and regard him with that nat 20, you're like that's a raven, and you're like, and you almost peer into his mind, you think, for a second. Like, you feel like his thoughts are your thoughts, almost. And you know right away that the commander is not at all happy to be here, and he seems very much irritated that he has to bear witness to this, and that he has anything to do with it.
Where are we seeing?
It's just, he's very obvious that he is, ugh, why am I here? It's a very much, why am I here kind of thing. Where are you guys at right now?
Like,
within, okay, so you guys are there's a door to your back.
Next to each other?
No, there's a door to your back. You guys are at a table similar to the one you are now, sitting next to each other as you are now. In front of you is Savah. She is like pointing, she's getting ready to like point at this board that she has up, and she's like explaining things to you as far as the leads and things that she has. And then to the right of that board, like standing against the wall, literally like this, just like so irritated with the situation is, well, not as far as you know anyway, but the commander is just standing right next to it. Just staring, like not looking at any of you, not regarding any of you, staring at the wall behind you, just right through you like your ghost.
Sweet.
Kids, go in the living room! Now! Okay. And so she kind of like points at this board. There's like a map. Again, though, Sharn is a very hard place to map. I can pull up on this screen for you guys like a little, what I have best for it as far as what it looks like. Why is it not showing the better list? There it is. Okay. So, Lower Dura is right here, but you see how I was saying, so these are all towers, but these towers are like hollowed out in the center of those, and so there's more towers within the middle inside all these areas. And then there's these walkways and things in between all those towers, and a lot of them are like even makeshift walkways. and then up into our way. So right now, you guys are in Middle Dura, where one of the main Sharn City Watch offices is. And like I said, they are talking about going into the lower wards. The current assumption, as Sabah begins explaining, that lead with the Burmar clan down there, the attacks have been all over, and they've been against everybody. But currently, the majority of the attacks are happening in the lower ward. And so, Sabah begins to explaining to you, she's kind of the mind that this, the majority of the city watch is of the mind that this group must be based out of the lower ward, because the majority of the attacks are happening there. And nothing has made its way into the upper wards as of yet. Nothing has happened there. But this recent attack, this recent explosion, was in the middle wards, in Tavik's Landing, and was particularly high up, getting rather close to the upper wards, so that the citizens there felt that shock. And they knew something had happened, so it caught their attention of people that have money and power. And when people that have money and power's attention, they're caught, things are done.
Every time.
Yeah, every single time. So, yeah, you guys get explained to you kind of that lead about the Boromar clan. She gives you like a little, like I said, based off of this, an okay kind of understanding and map of where this location's at, so you have an idea of where the building is at. As she says that, kind of shows you that she's finishing up. He's finishing up. He turns to you. He says, "Well, is there any more questions? Is there anything you need? Is there perhaps stuff you want to take with you before you go?"
Should be okay.
Oh, there's one more thing. We have procured, as you won't be able to let anybody know that you're with the City Watch. When you're in Lower Dura, no one will be able to come and help you. There will be no aid. We will not be able to bring any items to you. You will be fending for yourselves. As such, we have set up, we've afforded you, with some of the money we have, afforded you a small safe house as such. It's not much. It's not great shape. It is the lower ward, so you have what you have, but there is a small stockpile of supplies, water, food, and it's someplace safe-ish to hide.
Alright.
And she really, when she says that, she's like ish. She really, without any perception check, she was really pushing it by saying it was safe-ish.
Listen, lady, I grew up in a brothel. I'll make sure that
I don't know why we had to talk about something like that, but good for you, sir. Anyway, there's one other thing. There was a rumor a warforge has been spotted at multiple scenes of these incidents throughout the city, throughout these attacks that have been happening. Nothing confirmed as of yet, but it's just something that's been said. Also, another thing to note is the Boromar and Dask, up until recently, as I'm sure you all will know, have been fighting each other, and it's been quite terrible. The Dask have been really trying to push their territories, but nothing this extreme has ever come up, and they have all but stopped their fighting in the midst of this. And then the only other thing of note is that, as far as we can tell, the tyrants and House Tarkanan have not had any major attacks against them. There's nothing else. There will be a airship waiting. Should be. She's looking at this like odd. It doesn't really look like a normal watch. It seems almost like a sundial, but it's moving though. It's rather quickly actually. You have to hurry if you don't wish to wait for the next one.
Yeah, I'm going in the direction of your ship.
Okay, as you guys head for the door, you're getting ready to walk out. You hear, and remember, always do well for the name of the city watch. And it's the first time that Ertalon has talked.
Of course.
And he's a human, but you do note that his voice is very gravelly and deep. It sounds very strange. You've never quite heard anything like it.
Do what I can.
Okay. So you guys walk off into the streets of Middle Dura. Okay. So within Middle Dura, there is quite a bit of there's like commercial districts, goods and things to be bought. Like there's just a lot of like trade basically in quite a few of the districts. And you guys walk out. There's quite a few people walking around. Within the middle districts, you actually do get some natural light as you step out into the city. You guys are making your way straight to the airship?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys make your way to the airship. As you arrive, you find what appears to be like a dock out over the edge of this tower, and arriving as you guys pull up, arriving is a ship with a lightning ring around it, and it looks just like any ship you would basically see in the water, other than this ring of lightning that's around it, or of air anyway. Sorry, it's air on these. And the way these airships work is in this area. In the area that Sharn's located, there is a magical field that basically makes magic that's like air-wise just stronger. And so they're able to bind an air elemental to these ships. And that is how they are flying. You guys pull up and you, alright, all aboard!
Alright.
Alright. You guys hop on the ship. Begins coasting down, and as you start getting lower, you start to hear more sounds of like metal like grinding together. The air begins to get a little bit thicker, begins to get a little bit darker as well, and as you step off of this airship and into Lower Dura, you're presented with a darkness that you're all too familiar with. There is like small magical lanterns that are like lighting most of the way. As in Lower Dura, very little light, in all the lower districts, very little light makes its way into here. The only light that comes in is through like little slits that are inside of the roof they basically made over that, which is the middle ward's flooring. You all see you see an ogre walking out of this alleyway as you guys are coming off of there. He's got like a club over his shoulder and like just a very ratty set of like pants on. Just kind of like humming to himself as he walks by. You see some halfling kids like playing in the street. They don't seem to be playing a very fun game though. You start hearing they're like just throwing rocks at each other, basically. And then, as you're stepping off, you hear someone scream from the direction that you had seen that ogre. And you see this ogre, like, lift his mallet over his head and just, smack this lady, like, slam her in the side. Boom! Sends her flying into a wall as he, like, takes her bag. And he doesn't start running. He just throws it over his shoulder. Ho, 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 and just keeps walking along like it was just nothing happened. What are you guys doing?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, you guys do know where that lead is. You know the general location of that building. Let me pull up here. And because you guys are arriving at Malion's Gate. It has recently become a haven for the monstrous immigrants of Drome and Dargoon, which are all like the ogres, goblins, just a lot of very terrible beings. Like bugbears, kobolds, hobgoblins, things like that. That's what you're kind of seeing mostly walking around.
Man, the goblin.
You're also seeing like the occasional minotaur, harpies even. But basically one of the best things about Eberron, in my opinion, is that you guys are seeing like the worst of the worst people that you would see in Forgotten Realms, except for they're not all necessarily bad right away.
Harpies like the race, not the secret organization.
Yes. Okay.
The most well-known secret organization. Probably not the best one.
Yeah.
I thought they were called the Harpers. Maybe it is the Harpies.
Maybe it's the Harpers. Yeah, Harper's Pen. You're right.
Okay.
I just gotta be it. Either way, the Harper's got Harpies.
So where are you guys going first? We're gonna gloss over that very quickly.
Best place to get information. Go to the tavern and listen.
You're gonna go to a tavern? Alright. Let me see here.
Oh yeah, quick question. So I had some potions made. Did I have any poisons made? Did I have any poisons made?
Do you have any poisons made? No, you did not.
Okay. Have to ask.
Alright, so there's a couple different places that you guys know, like, are like either taverns or like there's well, the thing is that you're also in a city, so there's other locations besides just a tavern. But there's places where people meet and gather. Some are safer than others. One of the places you would know is the Broken Mirror. You would know, though, it's owned by a family of changelings. It changes themes every week. So every week you go in there, it's a different place. And there's also a possible tyrant connection there. Nobody can say for sure, but the amount of money that goes in and out of that place, it's run by changelings. Seems like it. Another place you guys would know about is the Anvil. It's a rundown inn that kind of struggles to maintain itself, but it is under known protection of the Boromar, so it is extremely safe because of this. Nothing dangerous is going to happen there. It's a place for people to kind of relax and hang out. The other place that you could go is the Silver Mist Theater, although it is in pretty bad shape. As of recent. It's remnants from the glory days of the Khalistan, so it was basically when things were just better in all of Sharn. But it's in a very bad state, and there's been a lot of like bizarre stage events. Like they will put on weird shows of anything you could think of. They put fights on there even between like different races, like just weird stuff that's been going on there. There's not a lot of plays going on at the Silver Mist Theater currently. It's a lot of weird stuff. You can decide how weird you want that to be in your head.
Sweet.
If it's canon for you that there is like a donkey show going on there, I'm totally fine with that.
Probably go to the Changeling Bar first, or the Silver Mirror.
The broken mirror.
Broken mirror.
You just fucking, you were just dyslexic talking. You just like, you're color dyslexic, you're talking dyslexic, you're reading dyslexic. Oh gosh, yeah, this is fucking great. Okay, so you guys can go to the broken mirror.
Well, I don't even know Tyler yet. Like, we were just kind of in this class thing.
Yeah, that's another thing. You guys have not really been introduced to each other.
We should go check out the broken mirror, see if we can gather information.
I don't know. My place of work tends to have quite a bit of information as well.
Where would that be?
Well, let's just say wealthy patrons tend to have loose lips with the women they lay with.
Yeah, you guys will have to travel a little while for sure to get to the broken mirror, though. It is further along, a different section of Lower
Suppose
Dura.
we could stop there as well.
Where should we go first?
The sex gate.
Either way, doesn't matter to me where we go first.
Probably check out both places. Whichever one's closer, honestly.
How close are we to the friendship house that I work at?
You guys aren't that far off. And the location you guys were given for your, like, hideout is not very far off from that place either.
All right. To the pleasure hall?
Your boss, since we haven't really talked about that yet, your boss is a goblin named Sheila. Very strange, actually, to have a goblin woman running a brothel down here in Lower Dura. You're not really sure how she's getting away with it, to tell you the truth. Because you never see any halflings come through. As far as you know, she's not paying anything to the Boromar. Never seen her talk to them. At this point, since you're a recruiter for the City Watch, you kind of wish she was. She might have more information. As far as you know, she's never paid a fee or anything, any kind of protection. You guys walk in, and as you come in, one of the girls stops you, that you're kind of used to seeing. She says, "Hey, you better watch out. Sheila's not too happy with you."
What'd I do this time?
"Oh, I don't know, but she ain't happy with you."
Well, I suppose I better face what's coming to me.
"You might want to turn around and run." And she just walks up, grabs this guy, like, "All right, it's your turn, hon," and walks into this room and just walks, like, that's all she has to say to you.
Well, this might have been a bust.
She kind of eyed you funnily as well as you walked in. You don't bring guests with you very often to this place, as it is kind of your job.
Yeah.
So she did eyeball your friend funnily, almost as if, like, where's his money? And then walked into her room.
I don't think we're going to get much information from here. And also, I may end up with lashings if we just don't leave.
And as you're kind of talking about that, you're, "Hey,
We did come here for information.
is that him? Where is he?"
We gotta go, now.
And as you say that, walking into the hallway, you see
Hey, boy,
a
stop.
very
You never even gave me your
very
name.
old, moving very quickly for as old as this lady looks. Like, she could easily be 100-year-old goblin. Like, just gray hair, skin just, like, sagging off of her face. Like, "Get over here right now." "And what's this?"
This is a
Tiefling.
friend of mine.
No, she knows what a tiefling is.
I know, I was just letting you know in case you know.
"Get him out of here. Go!"
I think you should wait outside, friend.
"If you ain't got money, move on."
I'll see what I can do about some information from this place.
Alright, I'll move on. I'm gonna shake my coin pouch as I'm walking away.
Okay.
Just like...
So, you walk out. She says, "Yeah, it sounds like you got a bunch of cop in there." As you're walking out the door.
Exactly.
she begins to talk to you. Where have you been? Where'd you go?
I was pulled into something outside of my control.
Well, sounds like you're being pushed around like usual.
Well, it has.
And she says that, and she kind of gives you a push.
What can I say? Look who raised me.
Hell yeah, it's my fault. You never grew a backbone, and it's my fault. You can change into anything, and can't even grow a backbone. You know what, why don't you just change into something solid?
What? I don't really have a response.
She says, well, either way, you missed your shift.
Well,
Trixie got short of 3 copper.
I have a feeling I'm going to be missing a few shifts.
That's not what I wanted to hear.
Well, when Upper Dura calls on you, there's not a whole lot you can say.
Upper Dura Smupper Dura. Tell those sparkly fools to leave us alone. They ain't got no business down here.
Listen,
Up there with the damn floating sky city. Doesn't make a lick of sense.
the things I am dealing with could come to your doorstep at any time. I would rather
Well, I dare
you
him
be
to.
safe.
I dare him to. And she like pats her stomach, like where like her shirt's like going over, and you hear like her rings like go like metal on metal like knocking against each other.
You're too old for these kind of conversations.
Yeah, you think I'm too old? Why don't you get down here and say that to my face?
I just kind of cower back a little bit.
Yeah, you know that she looks really old, but she moved fast when she came out there, and
Yeah.
she's very agile still at her age, and feared by pretty much everybody.
That's pretty much all I do is just kind of cower back a little bit because I don't want her to reach out and just smack me.
So, when you planning on being back?
It's really hard to tell.
You ain't even able to make a couple shifts?
I'll see what I can do.
No.
You're gonna have to find someone to cover for you.
Well, is there anybody around at all?
You look around, and there's an orc, or like a half orc, like walking out of one of the rooms. He looks pretty tough.
That guy. Why don't you take him?
Oh, me? Do what?
I bet you she'd pay you with some free time in there.
His eyes get like really wide. Oh, yeah, he like straightens himself out real quick. And he's, I'm more than ready to go. What do you need?
There you go. There's
Let's
your
get it
cover.
All right. Well, I suppose you found someone to cover for you, so you can get out of here. But
Well,
if he doesn't work out, it's coming off of you.
that's not entirely all that I came here for.
Oh my.
I need to talk to a few of the girls.
Well, talking costs money too. A lot of these guys, they come here for therapy.
Just take it out of my pay.
You don't make very much.
And I won't make very much for a long time because of how much I'm going to owe you.
Fine. Talk to some of the ladies that aren't busy in the back.
Alright, and then I'm gonna get on towards the back. Thank you!
Okay. While you were doing that, Tyler, as you came out the door, you're kind of looking around. You notice 2 children, they're like covered in like green sludge. They appear to be like arguing and shouting at each other, and they're like trying to they're both holding something. They're like trying to pull it away from each other. It has a little bit of a glint to it. Can't quite make out what it is from where you're at.
I'll get a little closer to see if I can see what it is.
As you get closer, it's some kind of shiny helmet. It's silver in color. You think it's probably steel or iron or something. And it's it's not a full helmet. It seems like it covers through here, And then it's up here. It's more of like a circlet. It's a very odd shaped helmet. It is shiny though, even though it's halfway covered in green nastiness. And when you hear them fighting, like, "Hey, give me that! No, you give me it!" Ah! And they're like trying to like hit each other, and like they're like just shouting obscenities at each other.
Be like, where did you find that helmet?
As they realize that like somebody's there watching, they both just try and start to run. The one boy takes the helmet as they just start to take off
Try
running.
and grab the helmet as they're running.
You could try and grab the kid.
I'll try and grab the helmet. Not the kid.
Alright, it's gonna be harder, but yeah, go ahead.
I did not get it.
Okay. Good to know. Yeah, so these kids start running off.
I don't really need the helmet, so I'll just let him run off.
Okay. You let them run off. Are you going to just basically stand around and wait for... What's your character's name again, Sullivan?
Boy.
You're going to sit around here and wait for Boy?
You don't even know my name yet. I'm just some dude that you walk to.
I'll be kind of close, but I'll wander around. Like, within half a block or so.
Alright. So, you kind of wander around.
Keeping my possessions close.
You...
Like, you know what I mean? Like, trying to... Actively paying attention for pickpockets as well.
Okay.
As you do in sketchy parts of town.
As you're walking around, you mostly just see a few different people walking. After a few minutes, though, you do hear someone yell, "Oh, stop! Stop! She stole my necklace!" You see a priest of the sovereign host pointing to a grimy halfling that's running with this silver chain, climbing up the side of it, and then starting to climb up the side of one of these towers.
I am going to follow them.
Well, the priest is just like, for a loss of words, because the halfling's climbing up the building. It's like this. It started pointing this, and it's just doing. He's right there. You gotta stop him.
Fuck it. I'll shoot a bolt at him. I'll shoot a crossbow at him, like, just to see, like.
Okay.
That's a miss, I'm assuming. 5 on die.
Yeah, you miss.
I didn't mean it.
It's all good.
It's good. Yeah.
It's fine.
I'll shoot one more.
You'll shoot another one?
I'll shoot 2 bolts.
Okay, let's do
I'm
this.
assuming I have enough time for 2 bolts.
You have enough time for 2. Yep.
I'd say after that, they probably got away.
I wouldn't say they got away necessarily. They're out of range. You'd have to chase them more. Because they're moving up elevation and farther away, so.
19 on day.
Okay. So, roll damage.
Fuck. I don't know crossbow damage on
Leave it to D6. Let me look. 1d8.
D8.
Yeah, I don't have that on this one. It's the unfortunate thing. And you use your dex modifier for ranged when adding for your attack. Just so you know that next time.
3 damage.
And your bolt smacks the thief in the shoulder, hitting him for 3 damage. The hand drops. You see the necklace fall as it's hanging on, still dangling on with their one arm.
I'll go for the necklace.
And they barely get their arm back, and they're kind of just barely making their way. And they start climbing and trying to get away.
I'll walk up, grab the necklace.
Okay. And you hear from
Did
out. Oh, thank you so much. You got me necklace.
I'm just holding the necklace. No, I'm holding the necklace in this hand. Holding out my hand like payment.
You do this to the priest of the sovereign host.
I don't follow your clergy.
Lower wards are getting worse and worse every day. Here.
Thank you.
And then he moves very, very quickly as he leaves.
What the heck?
He handed you 2 rocks.
2 rocks.
Are you gonna throw a rock?
Yeah. Giving him his rocks back.
Did you just... Oh, shit.
Great.
Alright.
Take your stinking rocks.
Okay.
We're about to knock out a priest.
Alright. Okay.
Actually hit him.
Trying to decide what I want to do. Okay, go ahead and roll a d4. Alright, okay, so you launch this rock. You hear the wind.
I have 7 strength, if that makes a difference.
It does not even matter. You crit, you do max damage, which would be a d4, and then you just roll 4. So 8 damage. This rock impales this priest in the back of the head as he just goes forward and smacks his face on the ground. And there is no movement and no sound from him as he hits the ground.
Healing potion. I'll heal him.
Oh, let's see. Before you have any chance to heal him or anything like that, like you hear, "Oh my God! What was that? Why did he just do that to a priest?" Even in the lower wards, it's pretty bad to try and kill a priest.
I didn't try and kill a priest. It's always accidental with me.
Well, you're always attacking people like you just don't think twice and you just attack them.
Yep, fuck him.
You don't think enough. You just oh, he did something I didn't like. I'm gonna kill that guy.
I wasn't even trying to kill him. I was trying to toss a rock at him.
You see this mentally disabled child that accidentally pinched you too
You
hard.
never
Kill
kicked a
him.
crit. Okay, but yeah, I'm gonna go over check for life signs and then healing potion.
Okay.
If there's. Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm assuming that didn't kill him. Good, like.
well, only players get death saving throws and stuff.
Priest would get a death save.
Oh my gosh. Quick.
I am a potion.
I did not expect you to fight with the priest.
I didn't expect to.
I had no
was
reason to
gonna
even
toss-
have the Acolyte stat block up, so give me a moment to get it. Okay. Alright. So never mind. It's 9 HP.
Okay.
So you just barely didn't kill him. He literally has 1 HP left, but he is knocked the fuck. He's just on the ground on his face with this rock's like in his head. Yeah. He's still just knocked out though on the ground.
Alright,
So he's alive as you approach him. But again, everybody that's around is like, what the fuck was that? A half orc that you'd never seen before walks out of the place, or out of the little his friend place that he goes to, his little business. So, a little half orc walks out like, what is going on out there? I thought I was here to protect girls, and now we got people hitting priests with rocks.
sick. So. Alright, so there's gonna be tremors in the ground, and I'm gonna be like, I exorcised the demon from him. He was possessed. I'm going for
give me
charisma.
deception.
It's based off charisma.
Yep.
That's okay. I have 19 charisma, so. 17,
We find
18,
hero
19,
along.
20, 21.
Do you hear the half word that, oh,
Because
It was
the
some of
ground's
that weird-
hammering
It was some of that weird mumbo jumbo stuff I see. Yeah. And everybody's like, oh, okay, that's fine. And everybody just kind of just says it's all good. They're like, oh, it's just some weird mumbo jumbo shit. That's normal. And they all kind of start walking off. And you're really surprised it worked as well as it did.
Yes.
Sullivan, you spent your time kind of talking to some of the
And
ladies.
those tremors last for about a minute. They're completely harmless. But
So we'll cut away from there for a sec. Because Sullivan will be walking out right about the time the trimmers and things are starting. So what were you trying to ask these ladies?
I'll leave him
What information were you
for now.
trying to
I
get?
won't use the health potion since he's still lit.
Okay.
Unless he's bleeding.
Well, he has a rock. Well, until you pull the rock out, he's not bleeding. As soon as he wakes up and pulls out the rock, he's gonna start bleeding a lot.
I'm gonna tell the orc. I'll be like, can you carry him to the church?
I thought you were like, don't pull that rock out.
No, I'll be like, can you carry him to the church for healing?
I'm kind of getting paid.
Show 1 gold. Which is probably more than what he's getting paid, honestly.
I can buy a lot of time with that.
But he's also getting free time.
And then
as
he's
well.
like- You start seeing him doing this. I mean, I get 3. That costs 10 silver. 3 more. I'll get like 2 more with that, I think.
Exactly.
But his math's so bad. He's
It'll-
just seeing him doing this.
I ain't gonna crack.
He's like 2 plus 2 is
Throwing up
8.
gang signs, trying to.
He literally does this. He goes 2 plus 2, 8. Wait, 7, 8. I need more dances. And he takes your gold coins. Like, what do you want me to do again?
Just carry him over to the church across town.
Oh my. Well, then I'm not gonna be able to spend the money on the dances.
You'll be able to come back and spend it when the change shifts, so you'll get the different dancers. The
Man,
more experienced
Sheila
dancers.
better not be mad at me for this. And he hucks the dude up over his shoulder and takes the gold coin from you and puts it in his pocket. And he starts just huffing it down the road. He's out of sight rather quickly because, like I said, it's rather dark down here. So,
Right.
what questions were you asking these ladies? So, what information were you trying to garner?
If they had heard anything about these recent attacks, that seemed to have come from nowhere. If there had been any whispers.
So there's been some rumors, kind of floating about. The rumor of the Warforged kind of leaving the scene, that's one that they have heard as well. So they've heard, that's multiple sources you've heard that from now. They said, they heard a rumor that, a man was seen slipping away after an assassination attempt on Counselor Elira Boromar. No one has seen that man. As far as anybody knows, that man has not been found yet. But the people expect the counselor may have gotten to him before anybody else did to question him. And then one of the other ladies mentioned, she's like, now you mention it, I think I might have, I talked to him, man, he was pretty hurt. He didn't, well, some of the men, they just come in here, they just want to talk to us, and we go back and forth, and like Sheila always says, it's therapy. It's cheaper than therapy, really. And he said he was scared. He was really scared. He said he got in some trouble with somebody, had a lot of money, and he was worried they were going to find him.
What did this man look like?
Well, tell you the truth, I thought he was human at first. He took his jacket off, he started getting more comfortable. He had like some scales or something kind of running up his arms on each side. He had this odd mark on his chest.
Interesting.
To tell you the truth, it kind of looked like a dragon mark, but I mean, nobody with a dragon mark's gonna be making their way down here. Though their type don't make it down here very often. Yeah. They bring us to them.
Have you heard anything when you've been brought up to them?
Oh, I'm getting a little bit far ahead of I don't get brought up there very often anymore. Been quite a while since old Trixie's been able to make her way up to the upper wards.
Yeah. Can't remember the last time anyone came in here just banging down the doors for old Trixie.
Hey, it's okay when I say it. Watch yourself.
You know I'm just messing with you, Trixie.
But yeah, that's all the information they essentially have.
Well, I think then, bid them a pleasant day and leave.
Okay. You walk out. As you're walking out the building, the ground's kind of shaking a little bit where you're at. You're kind of a little bit like not as steady on your feet. You see the man that you recently just got a job has some priest hucked over his shoulder for some reason and is just like walking off into the dark.
Hey, where are you going?
Don't worry about it, I got this.
You know Trixie's gonna kill you.
I ain't worried about Trixie, it's
Not
Sheila.
Trixie, Sheila.
And then
Mix
just
their names up.
Because you mix their names up, you
yeah, and he starts walking off. He continues walking though. And then you see your friend,
Whoa.
your acquaintance. Did you grab that necklace or anything off of him?
I would have attempted to pickpocket him and shit, yeah.
Go ahead.
Slide.
Go ahead and roll sleight of hand to see if you got that necklace off of him. Well, either way, he didn't stop you, so you got the necklace off of him either
13
way.
on die, so...
Okay, I just needed to know that number. So you got the necklace, though. If you were trying to get it, you got the necklace. Yeah, he had a coin pouch on him, and again, he was knocked the fuck out, so you kind of had ample time to look however the hell you wanted it.
Yeah.
You find 12 gold and 2 silver. And then it's actually really nice to have this so I can just show you guys shit over here.
I'd
too.
put the necklace...
And we can keep track of where you guys are at.
I'd put the necklace in my hidden compartment.
Okay, you put the necklace in your hidden compartment. That sounds kind of weird, to be honest.
Yeah.
Is hidden compartment a euphemism?
Don't you be talking about your
Yeah,
prison
me and my
pocket,
girlfriend
your
got together.
Over
We did the old hidden compartment.
Whoa.
Word, see you in a few.
Anyway.
Oh, we're inside.
Fuck this to
Word.
out in the fucking garage, dude.
Right.
I had to set it up like this. Until I can get my wood burning stove hooked up. When I get a wood burning stove, just for everybody, even the people at home and maybe watching this later, when I get my wood burning stove, we'll be playing D&D in the garage. And it'll be way better.
Sweet.
To be honest. Anywho. Yeah, so you walk out to your friend's kind of bloody. Not really bloody, but his hand's a little bit bloody from touching around on the dude that had blood all over him. He seems to be in good spirits, though. I mean, seems pretty happy with himself. You're not really sure what happened. You saw that priest being dragged away on your buddy's shoulder, on the other guy's shoulder, and then you see your recent acquaintance, just kind of hanging out there, a little bit of blood on his hands. What do you make of the situation? What is that at this point towards?
I leave for 10 minutes, you steal my replacement, and you have blood all over you. There's a priest getting lugged off for some reason.
I paid that man to carry the priest to the church to get healed because there was an exorcism that went astray.
I paid that man to work.
That's 18 on die, though, so you'd have to...
Go ahead and roll perception. Or actually, or if you're trying to see through him, you can roll perception or investigation. I'll let you roll whichever one you would prefer.
Seeing is...
If you're just trying to naturally get a read on it, or are you trying to actually look in his face and, like, read his eyes or something? Like, are you trying to look at the bloody hands, the priest walking away, are you looking at facts, or are you trying to get a read on his vibe?
I'm just trying to look at facts.
Okay, that's investigation.
And I got a 9. 7 on die.
Yeah.
Whatever he kind of told you happened, you're like, facts are kind of pointing towards
I
that.
paid him to heal a priest and an exorcism because an exorcism went astray.
So he might be doing exorcisms on the side.
Either way, I am in a world of trouble with Sheila now, and we should probably leave. I'll tell you what I found out inside on the way.
Alright. Sounds fair.
And where are you guys going next?
We're going to that tavern, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going to the tavern.
Okay, and you guys were gonna go to the
Broken mirror.
okay.
The silver mirror.
The broken
The
silver
new
mirror.
tavern in town that's co-owned by both of them.
Okay. So you walk for a while, and you make your way to the broken mirror.
Walks all past the tavern band. Yes. Yes.
Because outside, I was like, I got a plan to get out of this. I don't know if it's gonna work.
I mean, I'm still a little grumpy, but she looks in the rearview mirror and I don't care anymore.
And so as you get up to the broken mirror, there's like a odd rosary on the front at this time as you arrive there. Obviously the theme has changed. But there's just a lot of greenery, and you're not really sure how they're keeping all of these plants alive down here. And as you walk in through the doors, a person walks up to you. They appear to be a human, male. He says, "Oh, welcome to the Broken Mirror. This week's theme is the wonderful forest. I hope you enjoy yourselves."
Wonderful forest? Or
Yep,
forest?
the forest.
Okay.
And there's just like oddly like plants just growing inside of this building. You're not really sure what to make of it. And again, it's like the only light down here is these artificial like magical lamps.
Are any of these plants useful to me?
You don't spot anything offhand that looks like a plant that's herb or anything like that.
Herb or...
Anything you would use to create potions or poison.
Okay.
It's mostly like basic stuff, like ferns, like
Okay.
very basic plants and like small trees. And
So I
stuff.
recognize the plants, but...
Yeah, but there's nothing of note.
Just us three?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, because Casey couldn't make it and
Oh, what?
Derek did not make it. Derek did not make it and he messed me back, so I don't think he's gonna be playing. If he can't come play, if he can only play if Casey's coming too, then I don't think he wants to play that much. So we're only gonna have Casey, but he'll be here next week. So, oh shit. What were you doing while this was all happening? Everything that happened while they were gone.
Taking a huge shit. No.
Character could have been doing that.
Actually, so you will have already been recruited. And you will currently be in the hideout. You will be the first one to have arrived at the hideout. And so they will meet up with you very shortly. Is your character sheet ready, by the way? What do you all still need?
I just need my spells. So I just need the book. Is this the book?
Yes.
This is the book.
If you're an artificer...
Actually, I think I'm...
Yeah, you need the other book. If you're an artificer, you can have one.
This
I
one.
won't have any artificer spells. None of that one.
This is the book. I have access to spells in that book as well.
Not the ones you want.
Yes. Wow, look at that, right to it.
Okay, so you guys right now.
I almost pulled a Tyler. You guess what I mean by that?
You about did something you probably
You
should.
guys right now are in
About
this
blew
board
everything
right
up?
here.
Close.
Oh, he fucking almost. The first thing he did, his first action was almost killing a priest.
In the middle of town.
Luckily, it was in the lower freaking wards where there's no city watch, and everybody was like, they cared, but they were more like, dude, what the fuck was that? That was crazy. Than like, holy shit, we need to arrest him.
It was an exorcism gone awry.
But yeah, he played everybody. And he made the
Including
ground
me.
start shaking with one of his spells, and he's like, I finally excised the demon. Thank
Really?
God.
I threw a rock at a priest.
I excised his demon through his skull. He crit throwing a rock at him and hit him for max
I was
damage.
just trying to do like 2 damage to this motherfucker.
He did 8.
He crit and rolled a fucking 4.
Yeah, so he rolled max damage on a rock.
I'm like, what the fuck?
Plunged this rock into this dude's skull.
Jeez.
And as you look around you, it is very obvious that this is a changeling-centric bar. You fit in here very, very well, because you're like seeing people kind of like into different stuff like in front of you. In this place, the Broken Mirror, like the servers and things will change to kind of fit the desires of the people that are being served. Yeah, it's not like they're being taken advantage of either as well. Like, they do those things to try and basically, like, do as much as they... Yeah, essentially they're really trying to just get as much money as possible, so they just try and fit whatever role they need to fill. But changelings do have an uncanny sense for other changelings. And rather quickly, you realize that they've all kind of made you.
Yeah.
They all know.
Yeah. Like, I probably wouldn't even need a perception for that. Like, I just... Cause
They know. And you know that
I'm a
they know.
changeling.
You
I
made
know.
them, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you, you guys walk in, you kind of get that greeting, like, welcome, like, are you looking for a place to sit, you want a drink?
Who looks sketchy?
Hmm?
Who looks sketchy? Like, what's
You are in a freaking tavern of changelings.
Everybody looks sketchy.
Everybody's sketchy because you don't know what anybody actually looks like.
No, who looks out of place for the bar? Like, is there anybody...
Well, honestly, a lot of people look out of place because, again, they're changelings and they're changing into things.
I think
Yeah,
that's
but
the list.
are all the customers ain't changelings, I'm assuming.
No, but not most. Actually, a lot of customers are changelings too. It's a changeling-centric bar. But there is some that are not, but it's frequented mostly by changelings. And just like shapeshifters, like things like that. It's mostly just, that's who it's mostly visited by and ran by entirely.
There's nobody that I could...
Nobody like seems way out of place at this bar.
Or nobody that would seem like they're having a sketchy conversation or anything.
Not like a dark.
You could roll
corner of the
perception or like an investigation. Probably perception, honestly.
I guess I would... They both perception's wisdom.
Yeah, well, it'd be perception, I think, anyway, because you're kind of perceiving whether or not they're sketchy.
room. Yeah.
You're getting a vibe check when you're trying to see if someone's sketchy. When you're investigating, that's like looking through papers, trying to find a clue, that type of shit.
I don't know if Savage would be good enough for that, for perception.
Yeah, everybody seems as out of place as they could, considering the way the bar looks. It literally looks like you walked through the door into a forest, almost. The only reason you can tell it's not is because there's a ceiling on the place. And so, honestly, most of the people look out of place. Everybody that's there almost does. So you don't see anything quite out of the ordinary.
This is a weird place. I probably don't realize they're even changelings.
You know the reputation, at least, of the Broken Mirror.
Yeah, I don't know he's a changeling.
No, not yet.
Nope, not unless he's told you.
I have none.
Nothing's given away the fact. How are you trying to appear at this point, by the way? What is your actual appearance at this point? Because your appearance is not this isn't your general appearance, this is what you're putting off as. Are you looking like a human, like an elf,
Yeah,
like
a short, dark-haired.
Have you
little
changed
goatee
since the
human.
meeting at all?
No,
okay.
I have stayed the same.
Okay.
This is just kind of my default around people.
So if I can alter the appearance of my eyes, do I choose how that appearance is altered, or is that only colored based, or like how would you determine that?
That's like a tiefling thing.
It's cantrip. The same one I used to make the tremor.
What, the prestidigitation?
It's that Thermog.
Oh, thaumaturgy. Let me look at it. Let me read it. But to be honest,
I don't think that's in Tyler's pronunciation script.
Well, you should have heard him fucking speaking dyslexic earlier.
Yeah, he can speak that fluently.
The broken mirror was the silver mirror.
Okay.
Silver moon.
Silver moon.
Yeah, it says alter the appearance of your eyes. So, like, you can make your eyes look like they're, like, see-through. It just looks like your brain's just
Like
hanging
effects
out
of
there.
Eyeballs.
Yeah.
Because I can change the appearance of my eyes.
It's not just color. It says you alter the appearance. So
I can
your
make
eyes
them
look
do-
different.
I can make them do cool shit. Essentially.
You make them at that point. So you can't make them do like movement. Like you couldn't make your eye like be drooping out unless it was just, it did that and it was just sitting there. You couldn't make it do things. You could make it look a certain way.
Yeah, I can make it look like it's bleeding, or I can make it look like there's lightning bolts in my eyes. I can do
Yeah, you can make it.
weird.
Make it look like cartoon eyes.
I don't even know. I don't think I'd even go as far as you can make it look like there's lightning bolts inside your eyes. You alter the way they look. Like it's a solid state.
Anime girl.
There's no extra movement behind it.
So the bleeding, yeah, because you can have bloody eyes without it moving.
Yeah, like that'd be like the solid, but like I don't know if you'd get like just a ton of blood dripping down out of your eyes. It would just like your eyes would look red as fuck, like
Look
they were
like they're
blood.
bleeding. Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah,
It just looked like your eyes.
I
had
ain't
blood
looking
in
to
them.
alter
Yeah.
anything outside.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if I could do shit like that.
Because it's just the way they look. It's not actually what they are.
Yeah, of course.
Just appearance. Okay. So I will not even assume to guess what you're wanting to know about that for, though.
Just future.
You just want your eyes to bleed for some reason.
Just future reference if need be.
What are you guys doing inside the broken mirror?
I'll get a drink and listen about.
Okay. You guys are kind of hanging out inside there.
To the barkeep. Give me 2.
Yeah, what do you want?
What you got?
We got anything you need.
What's the prices?
The price is the price.
Give me 2 1 gold drinks.
You got it, boss. And he just whoosh, whoosh. And this place has ice. Like it's wild. You weren't expecting. He scoops in some ice. I'm gonna give you a special one, boss. It's a real nice drink. Yeah, it's my specialty.
Appreciate it.
And you see him. He's like pouring some liquids in. He pours it into an extra cup. See him doing. He's like shaking stuff up. And he's like, all right, 2 1 gold drinks for you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And you are like, this. You're like, this is high. You don't get this stuff in Lower Dura very often.
No,
You don't. Even if you have the money to afford it, chances are you're not going to find a place safe enough to spend that kind of money. But seemingly, this is a safe enough place.
See.
All right.
See,
One way to find
and you're
out.
gonna find I like to say things like that and then not let anything happen.
Goop.
That way later I can say it and you expect nothing.
Goop.
Haha.
I'm gonna play your brains.
I like
It's gonna be fun.
How strong was this? So I was cheers.
Yeah,
Roll
you just slammed
Constitution.
it. I'm just sipping it.
Saving throw, actually. Constitution saving throw.
Yeah, I'm feeling it.
What'd you roll? You're really feeling it.
What'd you roll, Tyler?
3 on
Oh, fuck.
You roll 2.
Oh, I just Just took a sip.
This
Yeah, but alcohol is.
is a really strong drink for strong drinks.
15.
You are surprised. You're not drunk.
5 with mine.
You're not drunk.
Not a 5.
Like, you're not like, ugh. But you are surprised off the one sip and like a few minutes passing by. You're surprised as to like wow,
Ooh.
like this is a heck of a buzz. After a few minutes pass by, you're worried about your friend.
I'm quiet drunk. One of those.
Okay, so obviously he's being quiet. Here's some things you don't have control over that are happening. You're like,
Sliding.
you're way down. You only stop because your feet touch the ground as you get so far slid off the stool. And then your knees start to bend and you're like still moving down. You're just slowly moving down. Your muscles are no longer holding up your leg or like holding
Sounds
your
like
body
this.
up. You literally no, you're still moving. You're just still slowly sliding and then you hear as your friend slides off the stool onto his ass. Tyler, you're very confused as to why you're this drunk. This doesn't seem normal. And with the recent research that you've been doing, trying to learn about poisons, as you haven't quite mastered any poison making or necessarily made any yet, but with your recent research, you're starting to become worried as to why you feel the way you do. You, as he hits the ground, are like, you're also like, whoa.
One drink, maybe?
So,
He's, yeah, that thing, it's a very strong drink. Roll perception. You don't even get a perception roll right now.
but I reached into about
16?
opening a vial.
Okay. Something's off. Okay.
Wait, what do you mean, very strong drink?
Yeah. It's one of the strongest drinks we got. Anytime someone comes in spending that kind of gold, I'm supposed to give them the good stuff. So that's what I do.
I drank a health potion.
Okay. You start to feel a little bit better, but you're like able to hold yourself up now. But you are like out there freaking pulling the old Frankenstein hands, dude.
What was in that?
Barely able to hold yourself up. Well, it's just a little bit of the good top shelf stuff. I don't know what it's called. I just pour the drinks.
I think it's called poison.
Look at you. You ain't dead.
Good.
Ern! Guys over here saying I'm selling poison. And you look over, and you see a Minotaur holding not a weapon really that you would, anything you would think of as a weapon. He just has a big old piece of wood.
He meant nothing by it. He
Have
has
you
had
guys
too
seen
much to
Walking
drink.
Tall
Yes.
with the rock? Yeah. He
Like that
has
2x4.
He has a 2x6 with a handle whittled into it, and it's over his shoulder, and
It's
it's
not
like
It's not a handle, it's just slightly thinner right there.
Yeah.
Probably.
he probably gnawed. It kind of looks like he got like gnawed it down into a handle. He's
He meant nothing by it. He's just had too much
doesn't
to
even
drink.
speak. He just grunts. You see like steam like come out of his nose. Well, let's keep it that way.
Your friend here just knows how to pour a mean drink. We'll be on our way. And I kind of like help Tyler up.
Yeah, you need the help. Your legs are freaking marshmallows, dude. That's what it feels like when you walk too. It feels like as your feet step down, it feels like at the knees is just like springs in your legs. And like as you step down, they just go and like compress.
As I'm essentially dragging Tyler out at this point.
Yeah,
It was like.
you're doing this? Yeah.
I know.
I just don't think you can handle your drinks. Get your buddy out of here.
Get
For
your
Ern
buddy.
has to handle it.
Not to worry, not to
I
worry.
don't even think Ern could handle this drink.
take out a silver and leave it on the counter for him.
Okay. So you leave the silver. Ern just kind of stands there with his arms crossed, holding this thing, his big old freaking chunk of wood.
So what's the difference in this edition from 1 minute to a round?
Pretty sure
So a second
a
now?
A
minute,
minute is 10 rounds.
I believe. So I'm pretty sure. Well, no.
Yeah, because
So instead of a turn, it's called a minute now?
Let me look really quick.
Because there is a round. Because it says one action.
A round is 6 seconds. Yeah. So there is 10 rounds. There's 10 rounds in a minute.
And
Yeah, because
okay.
I used to be it was 10 seconds, and in
Okay.
this edition it's 6
'Cause-
seconds.
I only
In
do that
second
based off of
edition,
certain
one
spells.
round is 1 minute.
Hmm?
In second edition, one round is 1 minute.
Mm.
Or no, one turn's a minute, and then a
Yeah.
round is 10. Okay. Okay, it's same then.
As I'm kind of dragging Tyler out of the bar, I'm like, man, that's the second time within 10
Run this
minutes
one
that
more
you've
time,
gotten
sorry.
us into trouble.
You know
We're
what?
going back to the safe house.
They gave us poison.
In an unfamiliar place in Lower Dura, you sip your drinks. Don't drink.
You're not even 100% that it's poison, you just know there's something else in that drink. It was not just alcohol.
It was drugged at the very least. The only reason I can walk is because of this. Throw him an empty like potion vial.
I'm not even gonna attempt to catch it. I'm just getting you to the safe house.
Okay. Yeah, so you just shatters on the ground.
That's good glass. What is wrong with you?
Roll a Constitution saving throw for me, would you?
Me or Sola?
You. Okay. So along the way, you get very drowsy along the way. And so you kind of nod off as Sullivan's dragging, over his shoulder. He's kind of walking you to the safe house.
I don't even know if I could do that.
He's just a tiefling.
You're supporting,
Oh,
not
okay.
like actually
Okay.
carrying.
Yeah.
So
So
if I'm having to carry you, you're kind of screwed.
he gets you there. You guys make it there, and you're just in and out of consciousness, basically just tired as shit. You're just so tired. When you arrive, as you like make it to the hideout, you're kind of starting to wake up a little bit. You're getting your bearings. You're kind of like rubbing your eyes. You guys walk in through the door. I know you're looking through your spells, Wesley, but can you describe your character for us?
So it's like a part human with metal worked arms. And,
Paraplegic. No.
yeah, paraplegic. And I assume, does it go up into the shoulder?
Yeah. Just however
Just
whatever
goes
you
up
want it to look like.
Cyborg-esque, kind of, but not the face and stuff, just the arms.
Very inhuman.
Yeah,
But I don't know that in game.
yeah, it's very human. And then, yeah, I assume I'm just in the normal robes for the occasion. I wouldn't be, this is in a tavern, correct? I wouldn't be.
No. So
You're
you're at the hideout.
Oh, at the hideout.
Yeah.
You were recruited before they were. So you're already at the hideout. You've been looking around the past couple days or so, trying to garner information about this group that has recently been leading some major attacks on other criminal organizations, as well as just different parts of the city. Recently, attacks have made their way up and they've almost reached the upper ward on one of the most recent attacks, and because of that, that's why people have started getting recruited, and they've been sending more help into these lower wards. The hideout you're in is a very run-down shack.
Now we are
It's
still
a
in the
decent
upper
size.
ward?
No, this is in the lower
In
ward.
the lower ward now.
Yeah.
We're there now. Okay.
Yeah. So you have, it's rather decently sized, but it's just in terrible rundown shape. As you guys push the door open, actually, you hear, and you knocked the door off the hinges by accident.
And
when
I'm
you
from the
pushed it
lower
open.
wards, correct? One of the lower wards.
Yes, you would
And
have
it's
been from the
not
lower.
just this vicinity, not this area, I'd assume.
No, probably not. So your guys' hideout. Let me get back to crop. This is where they just came from, and then your guys' hideout is gonna be in the stones, right in here.
Oh, okay.
And then here's a good idea so you can kind of get an idea of
Yeah.
what the place looks like. So we're inside of these towers here down at the bottom.
Is the top layer floating or is it built on top of the others?
This is on top of the others. This is floating. The only
I'd
thing that's
say-
floating is Skyway.
Okay.
It's just separating them so you get a look in.
They
Yeah, that's
literally
what I
float on
figured,
those. It looks like they're floating on clouds, basically, but they're not.
The only other thing I need to do is my gold and
25
a
gold.
few items. Fuck you.
No, that's what we all start
it's
with.
25 gold.
We all start with 20. We don't get the character gold
But
star?
you get the character stuff.
Oh,
Oh,
you guys
you get-
fucking
You
suck.
still get your equipment.
well, God.
Oh no, the starting gold for the character.
Yes, if it's in the equipment.
Yeah.
If it's in your starting equipment page, you get all that stuff. Plus, you all got 25 gold.
Where's
Oh,
the-
okay, we're trying to short ourselves.
Where's the gold
You
at?
still get all your starting equipment. I just also gave you guys 25 more gold.
Well, some
because
DMs
Sharn is an expensive city.
Some DMs alter the gold starters. I figure like
No,
you're
that's
starting
if
out.
we're starting off like
40.
as hobgoblins with potato sacks for clothing.
Well, it's just
That's
in
why we
5e.
started off
In
with
5e,
gold.
there's starting gold and equipment already there.
44 times.
It's just a lot of extra work to put in a whole bunch of extra. Like, why would I go through all that work?
5d4.
The books prepped that for us already, and it's enough that it's just fine. Like, it doesn't hurt or harm you.
13.
We all get 25 gold on top of that because I just like to make sure everybody has a decent chunk of
50, so
change.
175.
Okay, I'm looking
Nice
a little
even
better. I have 164 gold right
Nice
now.
divisible number.
I just always feel like everybody's a little bit less than what I'd like, so I always try and add the 25 extra.
I already made.
Especially because you guys are in Sharn. That was another thing. You guys are in the city, so everything's going to be a little bit more
Tyler, is there a
expensive.
pencil
You're
over
just
there?
going to be paying premiums on it.
Shit. I have this one.
there
Oh no,
another?
there's another. I didn't grab the only two from over there unless. Okay, never mind. He had another.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah. Damn. I didn't even had to steal his coin pouch earlier.
Yeah, but you were going to try and steal his necklace at the very least.
Yeah, it was. That's besides the point. No.
Okay. And so, yeah, you guys...
Stumbling through the front door.
Yeah, Sabah did not mention another person.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I'll be wearing scale mail, by the way.
You were recruited directly by Commander Talon.
I work for Talon. Who are you?
I work for Talon. No, wait, I work for.
But technically, kinda.
Yeah.
Technically, kinda. But you were recruited by...
I just repeated your
the
story
commander.
back to you.
You
I
were
work for
recruited
him.
by Lord Commander Leon Talon, though.
Yeah.
But you work for him technically because you're working for the City Watch.
Are you with him?
But you were recruited by Sabah.
Yeah,
Sabah
I work-
Carissa,
we-
City
Sabah.
Councilor.
I was
recruited by
ordered by
Sabah
Savat, but we work for
for the City Watch.
The Lord Commander Leon Talon.
Lord
Very
Commander
Nice.
Learter.
Yeah, that guy.
In-game
You
I
just
said
say
that.
the Lord Commander, and we will get along just fine.
I work for the Lord Commander.
For anybody that watches this later, Tyler has dyslexic tongue, so his words just come out funky. Anywho, yeah, you are confronted by. Describe your characters.
Tiefling. A devilish looking guy if you don't know what a
Yeah.
Tiefling is.
What
No,
color?
I mean,
What color skin did you have? Their skin color.
Gerple.
Their skin color varies.
Roaring
Their
Gerple.
horns vary.
Purple.
Do you have like straight out shit? Do you have ones that curve back?
I'd say
How horny are you, Tyler?
That's a good question.
pointed horns.
Especially when there's 4 dudes in the room.
I will excuse myself to the other room for a moment.
Yeah, probably like
Said I check on my horniness in private.
pointed horns that stick out. Kind of slanted forward, but not like straight forward. Like,
Okay.
and purplish skin.
What do you currently look like again, Sullivan?
I appear to be just an average human, black hair, little goatee.
What's your build?
Slender, about my own normal build right here.
Okay.
And I look like a human So, me being how I am, does
Mhm.
that, like... Am I currently living?
Yes. Even Warforged are considered living.
Okay.
You have a conscience and
Now-
all that.
Do I look scorched kind of around where I've been hurt, or does it look good?
I leave that entirely up to you.
Okay, it doesn't look great. It looks it's someone I might have tried to do this myself.
He looks
One
like
arm at a time.
To your guys' look, he seems like he must have been like a Warforged gone wrong, like a like somebody's terrible attempt at a Warforged. But he appears to be in relatively decent shape. Like he's talking just fine. He can speak to you well. Seems intelligent, but it seems like something just they had a rough time of it, a rough go of it when he was created. He might be an early model.
Just looking you up and down.
You have a problem?
A little bit of disgust. Ugh. I think you should have a problem with whoever did that.
Don't.
Is that
you-
so?
You
Don't
know
make him-
enough to know, like you remember you did this to yourself. You remember who you are basically. The things that have like been stripped from your memory are like where the location of your lab is, where like you actually did all this work. And a lot of the knowledge you had as far as doing this to yourself has kind of is really hard for you to reach out for. So you've had some trouble like trying to repair some of the work that you've done as well. But you do know yourself, and you know you did this to yourself.
As you can see, I am the maker. One arm at a time.
Oh, you did it to yourself. Oh, that makes sense.
You craft
It
better
doesn't
with
make
one
much
arm?
sense to you.
I would
actually.
I would not be able to do better than myself.
It's not a normal thing that you would see. You're very like wow, because you were almost for sure he was a made
It
human.
doesn't make sense, but my character said it makes sense.
Okay.
Like, it makes sense. Like, it makes more sense than paying
You were
somebody to
yeah,
do
because he
that.
very much just looks like some kind of warforged.
Pay my companion no mind. He's had far too much to drink tonight. Or is it even nighttime? Is it still daytime? Are
You
we
can't
still
tell.
drinking?
You can't tell because you're in the lower wards and no sunlight gets there. Everything bleeds into everything. Every
Oh,
day just
God.
bleeds into the next. So that's another reason why, like, the streets in the lower wards, like, they're occupied pretty much 24/7. Because there's always, like, this group thinks it's daytime now, this group's up right now. Like, it's just, there's always people walking around the lower wards because you never know what time of day it is. Everybody's, like, biological clock is off because
I'm
there's no
assuming this is
sunlight.
like a candle lit, like most things would be in this time era? Or
It's like, yeah, like odd, like lantern things. Like these magical lanterns and candles, things like that.
Is this shack
So,
well
if
lit?
I were to take this thing that's called, it's a cantrip, Spare the Dying.
Mhm.
It says if a player has 0 hit, or even a character has 0 hit points, a living creature, I can basically put them to stable.
Mhm.
They don't gain any hit points, they just stop dying.
Yeah, because the way...
Does that work
okay.
at negatives even? Or does it
You don't do
just work-
negatives.
You don't do negatives in D&D?
So here's how
Or
this
in
works.
5th edition?
5th edition, you go down to 0 hit points. And from there, you start rolling death saving throws. You get 3
So-
failures, you're dead. You roll a death saving throw every round on your initiative. You get 3 passes, you're back up at 1 HP.
Okay.
So what this does is it makes them stable, so there's no more death saving throws.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't bring them back up. They're just stable,
I like
so there shouldn't be any
so
more
they
death saving
automatically
throws.
succeed their death saving throws.
Yeah. But they're not up, though, is the thing. So they stay, instead of being at 1 HP, they're up, moving around. They're
You're
0
unconscious.
HP.
And while we're having one of this,
What do you need, Yaya? I heard her say my name. Heard her say Dad. Oh, well, that's fine.
And while we're having this conversation, one of the candles or torches, whatever is lighting the room,
277.
turned purple.
Okay.
Like,
Okay.
This is a
I don't know if
punishment.
they know, but just
All right.
No Jack.
Now, you have been given some different information than what they were given, Wesley.
What was I?
You were let known that the Boromar clan does have some kind of operation down here. However, the commander didn't seem very much worried about it. In fact, the exact wording he used was something along the lines of, well, if they get attacked again, that's just fine. It takes care of all this stuff coming in and out of my city that's stolen. But you do know that there is potentially a safe house that may get attacked that's owned by the Burramar clan that they've been smuggling things. But he told you not to really pay any mind to that. He encouraged you to look into the Dask. And so the Dask are a group of like more monstrous citizens within Sharn who came from the areas of Drome and Dargoon.
Do I need to write that down?
And one
Might not be a bad idea. I mean, the Drask are like consist of like ogres, hobgoblins, goblins, bugbears.
He's interested in, or
And one of the
I need
torches
to
is
search
turned
for the
green.
drone,
Gnolls, orcs,
the drone, and the dragoon.
the Dargoon.
Darg.
That's the state that they're from. And they recently came here. These people that recently came from Drome and Dargoon have come here and formed this group called the Dask. And that is who he has told you to look into, is the Dask.
Okay.
So since my character is a little tippy, that is what I'm doing. So like as we're having, like, while we're talking,
And
like,
you guys are going to do what now?
we're investigating the attacks.
I assume that's what they hired you for as well.
Where are your leads?
We have a lead. It's. I didn't actually write down the lead. Yeah.
The Burramar clan.
Buromar, yeah, Buromar clan. Has
They have a
started
smuggling operation
raids.
here in Lower Dura. And it is
And
They've
right around here.
so you're going there to look for them? Or to search?
to kind of investigate to see if we hear anything.
Well, I've heard that's the small peas and carrots. If you'd like to come to Dask with me, maybe find yourself in a bit more fun.
The Dask are the group,
Might-
and they are located within the cog. Let me pull it up for you.
We might have to check that.
And you
out.
said they were. I was told that they were more interesting. It was a more interesting.
It was a better. He thinks it's a better lead.
Yeah.
He kind of really what it seemed like, the way he had said it and kind of worded it was, those monstrous creatures. I'm sure there's more to worry about with them. It seemed very much it was because of what they were that he thought that should be where you should take care of.
So how many torches are in the room lighting it?
It's like 4 or 5 probably.
Like, so basically, like, every 6 seconds, like, every round, like, one of them will just change color.
Okay.
Like, I'm just like, just to see if they know, like, I'm like,
Sorry, you're doing what? You're making what change colors?
the torches lighting the room are changing color.
That's definitely noticeable.
Yeah.
But,
So, you guys interested in following that way?
definitely worth checking out.
It's mostly because I've heard, I guess, that it's the grueling monsters down there. More likely to be the smugglers.
Of course. Yeah, we can check that out. It couldn't hurt.
So
If anything else,
the
we can
Dask
come
are
across-
known to frequent what's called the cogs. And so the cogs lie deep beneath Sharn, below the sewers of an old Sharn. Streams of Fernean lava flow through this area. And over the centuries have kind of just like rotted out. House Canis has helped Braylon establish vast foundries that tap into this resource. So Ash Black and Black Bones are like some industrial districts, and they're largely inhabited by warforged and things like that. And House Canith has managed to farm that Fernian lava to use for their experiments and creation of things. The Sharn Watch does maintain a presence in the cogs, just because that resource is so valuable. There's really like they need to make sure that nothing happens to those pipelines and things that bring those resources where they need to go. Most of the citizens of Sharn have never been to the cogs. The area house the bulk of the area does though house the bulk of the city's warforged population, and if you're looking for a particular warforged, that's probably one of your best places to start.